Now, I'm not sure how many times I've said this, that rehabilitation doesn't work, especially for those who have been involved in sickening crimes such as sexual offences. And now it seems that I was right, as figures recently released provide information that offenders on probation are committing 3 murders or major sex crimes a week. Not each, I think that means between all of them. Since 2010, known criminals have been responsible and convicted of almost 700 murders whilst they've been on probation, with a further 950 known criminals convicted of rape, attempted rape or serious sexual assaults, including attacks on children whilst they were on probation. But don't worry, 10 days rehab will fucking fix it. The figures have been released after 2 cases where probation services classed 2 murderers as medium risk rather than high risk, which led to them being supervised by probation staff with very little experience and no security measures in place to protect the public. Now, don't get me wrong, but if somebody's deemed as a high risk and they need experienced staff and security measures in place to protect the public, then why the hell are they being allowed out of prison in the first place? HM Chief Inspector of Probation, Justin Russell, has said that it was impossible to say that the probation service was keeping the public safe from freed violent criminals after the blunders that led to the murders of 2 women and 3 children. So, as mentioned before, it's not just the police or the CPS or judges, it's the entire justice system that's failed and broken. There has been an increase in serious further offences by convicted criminals upon release from prison by 3,219 from 2010 to 2011 and 2020 to 2021. This includes offences committed by criminals who were on licence after previously committing other serious crimes, whilst others were deemed to be a lower risk offender. Apart from murder and sex crimes, other convictions were for kidnapping, attempted murder and arson with intent to endanger life. Shadow Justice Secretary Stephen Reed said murderers and rapists must not be left to roam the streets and prey on new victims. 13 years of Conservative mismanagement has left our probation service in chaos. Their inability to properly supervise dangerous offenders leaves the public at risk of serious harm. The service has been left facing a shortage of staff, unmanageable workloads and morale at rock bottom. Information about offenders is not being shared, so prisoners are released without proper checks. But let's not simply blame the government here. These organisations that are allowing this to happen are also to blame. I used to run a company. Due to the nature of having to deal with the public, I would never hire people not competent to do so, or who I thought might be a risk, such as certain types of offenders. Although I would hire people who maybe have been caught shoplifting once. But these massive government arms of the justice system should have the resources and ability to protect the public while doing their bloody job and punishing criminals properly. Every day I learn something new about this country, and it is utterly, utterly depressing.